Hello, my friends. Welcome to this English learning video. Today, I have brought you a beautiful and interesting story. It's about a young girl who gets a very strange surprise at the beach. But that's not all. You will also learn 5 beautiful English phrases from this story, and each phrase will be shown in blue, so you can find them easily and remember them better. I'll explain each phrase at the end of the video, so stay with me till the end. Now, let's begin the story. Listen to each sentence carefully. You can repeat after me to practice your pronunciation. Let's enjoy and learn together. My name is Emily. I am 22 years old. I live in California. I love the beach. One Saturday morning, I packed my bag. I wanted to spend the whole day at the beach. The sun was bright. The sky was blue. It was the perfect day. I wore my favorite pink swimsuit. I took my towel, water bottle, and sunscreen. I drove my small car to Crystal Bay Beach. It was a quiet beach. Not many people knew about it. That's why I loved it. When I arrived, I smiled. The waves were calm. The sand was clean as a whistle. I laid down my towel. I sat down and closed my eyes. After some time, I felt a breeze. I opened my eyes. I saw a boy walking toward me. He looked about my age. He wore a red hoodie and black shorts. He smiled, but something felt strange. "Hi," he said. I smiled back. "Hey." He pointed to the sea. "Nice place, huh?" "Yes, it's my favorite," I said. He sat down near me without asking. That felt odd. "My name's Josh," he said. I nodded. "I'm Emily." He didn't bring a towel or a bag. No phone, no water, nothing. We talked for a few minutes, then he said, "Do you want to see something crazy?" I laughed. "What do you mean?" "There's a cave nearby," he said. "A secret one. It only appears at low tide." I didn't believe him, but I was curious. I looked at my watch. It was only 3 p.m. "Let's go." We walked along the shore, farther than I had ever gone. After 10 minutes, I saw it. A dark opening in the rocks. "That's the cave," Josh said. "Come on, have at it." We stepped inside. It was quiet and cool. The air smelled salty and wet. My heart beat faster. "Wow," I said. There were strange drawings on the walls. Old, maybe ancient. Stars, waves, a girl's face. "Who made these?" I asked. Josh didn't answer. He stared at one drawing. It looked just like me. "Emily," he said softly. "This is where she disappeared." I froze. "What? There was a girl?" He said, "She looked like you. She vanished years ago." I stepped back. I wanted to leave. This was too weird. Josh turned to me. He looked serious. "Now," he said, "are you any good at listening to your gut?" "What do you mean?" I asked. "Do you feel safe with me?" he asked. I shook my head. "No." "Good," he whispered. "Because you're smart." Suddenly, his eyes changed. Dark. Empty. I ran out of the cave. Back to the beach. I turned around. He was gone. I looked up the shore. I saw an old man fishing. I ran to him. "Sir," I shouted. "Did you see a boy with a red hoodie?" The man looked confused. "There's no one out there," he said. "Are you okay?" "I was just in that cave with him," I said. He dropped his fishing rod. "You went in that cave?" "Yes," I cried. "That cave," he said, "has been closed for 20 years. "What?" "The last girl who went in never came out." I shivered. "Her name was Emily too," he said. My hands were shaking. Was Josh a ghost? Was the cave cursed? I got in my car. I drove straight home. I couldn't sleep that night. I kept thinking about his face, those strange drawings. The next morning, I went to the library. I searched online, Crystal Bay Cave disappearance. And there it was, a news story from 20 years ago. Emily Carter, 22 years old, went missing. Nobody found, only her towel and water bottle. She looked exactly like me, same eyes, same smile. Then I saw his name, Josh Turner, the last person seen with her. He died 1 year later. He drowned at Crystal Bay. I screamed. It was him, the boy I met. I called the police. I told them about the cave. They sent a team. 2 days later, they called me. "We found something," they said. A body buried deep in the sand. It was her, the other Emily. The case was finally solved. Josh's ghost had shown me the way. I went back to the beach one last time. I stood near the water. The sun was setting. I whispered, "Thank you, Josh. You hit the nail on the head. You brought her home." Suddenly, the wind blew softly, and I heard a whisper, "You're safe now." I smiled. I felt peace. I opened my phone. I saw a message. It was from the news channel. They wanted to interview me. They said, "We want to thank you. You helped solve a mystery that was cold for years." They offered me a reward. "It's on my dime," the officer said, smiling. "You did something brave." I got the money. I used it to start a small beach cafe. I named it Emily's Secret. Tourists come every summer. I tell them the story. Some believe, some don't. But I know the truth. I met a ghost. He needed help, and I helped him. Now the beach is quiet again, and safe. And me? I'm happy, more than ever before. Don't stop the video now. Now comes the best part. We are going to learn the real meanings of the phrases with easy examples so you can start using them today. Clean as a whistle. Very clean or neat. In the story, Emily says, "The waves were calm. The sand was clean as a whistle." She means the beach was very clean. There was no trash, no mess, just fresh, smooth sand. Example, "My mom cleaned my room yesterday. Now it's clean as a whistle." Have at it. Go ahead and try it. In the story, Josh says, "That's the cave." Josh said, "Come on, have at it." He means go inside the cave. Try it. He's telling Emily to go for it without fear. Example, "My brother asked if he could play my video game. I said, 'Sure, have at it.' It's on my dime. I will pay for it." In the story, the officer says, "It's on my dime," the officer said, smiling. He means he will pay for it. Emily doesn't need to worry about the cost. Example, "My friend bought me lunch and said, 'Don't worry, it's on my dime.' Are you any good? Are you good at this?" In the story, Josh asks Emily, "Do you feel safe with me? Are you any good at listening to your gut?" He means, are you good at trusting your feelings or instinct? Example, before the match, the coach asked me, "Are you any good at football?" I said, "Let's find out." You hit the nail on the head. You said exactly the right thing. In the story, Emily says, "I whispered, 'Thank you, Josh. You hit the nail on the head.'" She means Josh was right. He helped solve the mystery in the perfect way. Example, my teacher asked why I was tired, and I said, "Too much homework." She said, "You hit the nail on the head." Well done, my friend. Now you know 5 new phrases and how to use them in real life. Don't just watch, repeat and use them when you speak. That's how you grow your English super fast. Want this full story with these phrases and meanings? Download the PDF from the Telegram link in the description. It's 100% free. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. Tell me which phrase you liked most. See you in the next story. Keep learning. Expanding your English learning journey. Now that you've enjoyed the story and learned the phrases, let's dive deeper into how such narratives can accelerate your English proficiency. Stories like Emily's are not just entertaining, they are powerful tools for language acquisition. They immerse you in real-life contexts, emotional arcs, and cultural nuances, making vocabulary and grammar stick in your memory. Here, we'll explore the broader implications of this story, provide additional examples for each phrase, and share tips to integrate these expressions into your daily conversations. The power of storytelling in language learning. When you engage with a story, you're doing more than passive listening. You're actively processing plot twists, character motivations, and descriptive language. This cognitive engagement enhances retention. For instance, remembering that the sand was clean as a whistle becomes easier because it's tied to Emily's serene beach day, a vivid mental image. Research shows that contextual learning, where words are encountered in meaningful scenarios, boosts long-term memory compared to rote memorization. So seek out English stories, podcasts, or videos that captivate you. Whether it's mysteries, romances, or adventures, each narrative will expose you to new phrases and sentence structures naturally. Conclusion: embrace the journey. Learning English through stories is a rewarding path. Each phrase you acquire, like those from Emily's adventure, adds color to your conversations. Remember, consistency is crucial. Set aside time daily to read, listen, and speak. Don't fear mistakes. They're part of growth. Just as Emily faced the unknown and found peace, you too can navigate language challenges with curiosity and courage. Thank you for being part of this learning experience. Keep practicing these phrases, and soon they'll roll off your tongue naturally. Share your progress in the comments below. I'd love to hear which phrase you use first. Until next time, stay curious and keep learning. Happy studying!